We are outside today because we were going to collect some leaves, but unfortunately it's a little bit windy and you won't be able to hear anything I say, right? So I've already collected some leaves. We're going to dry them, and this is for the winter months because it's not always going to be like this. It's not always going to be lush, so this is a good time for you to get out there and collect the leaves that you want to dry for the winter. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. I've just thrown a few examples of the types of leaves I have here already that are dried. Now, these are mulberry leaves, all these ones. These are guava leaves, these are amaranth. I dry nettles, I've dried nettles before. These are ones that are about 6 months old. Not quite 6 months, about 4 months. 6 months would be in the winter. So today we have some bigger nettle leaves because I quite like the big ones. The great thing about nettles as well, guys, is you can chop them to the ground and they will grow again fast. Right now in Norway it is June, which means I still have about 3 or 4 months left of the growing season for nettles, right? So if you keep on harvesting these, cutting them down, you'll get a good supply of shrimp food for the winter. Okay, and we are going to iron these things. This is how easy it's going to be. Just let me angle you down a little bit. We're going to iron them. These other ones, by the way, that I have here are red currant leaves. I've Google searched these and apparently they are edible and you can use them in tea and stuff, so these are quite an interesting thick leaf as well. So we're going to try them today. But first, to give you an idea of how this works, we are going to try nettles. Okay, so all you need to do this is to have some kitchen roll to put your leaf on. And this will leave a nice little pattern. Like you have little patterns like this on your kitchen roll, it will leave nice little patterns like that on your nettle. I have washed these as well, just to get any little bugs and stuff off them. So let's put them like this. I've never tried drying these, so it'll be interesting to see if these work. So let's put a few on like this, and then we're going to cover them. I like to do these in bulk, that's why you're seeing me doing such a lot at once, right? So we're going to cover this whole thing. So that 4. And I have tried this before as well, so I know that with nettles especially, the leaf goes pretty dry, okay? So that's what we're after. We want the leaves to dry so that we can store them for times when we don't have enough food. Now I'm just waiting on the iron heating up here. Let's see. Might be enough. Let's try it in the first ones, right? So you just want to lightly push on these, and the iron will draw out all the water. And it probably does cook them as well, because this is steam coming off this, okay? Let's check. Let's check. Look at that, isn't that cool? It's not dry, but it is pretty dry. Hopefully this works, because I've never tried it with this before. Give it a blast with the steam to flatten it. I can already feel the amount of fluid that's in this one compared to the other one, because the iron is sticking a little bit. Let's see. You see what I mean? By the stalk, the iron sticked. That's pretty cool, though. Maybe I have the iron up a little bit too hot. Yeah, I do, I think. Because this leaf is now good on the ends, but it's kind of stuck near the middle. You see it? Because I don't want to put the kitchen roll in a tank. So there you go. It is kind of... Okay, we'll try another one. Nettle ones have turned out superb. I think maybe with these ones they need to be bone dry before they get done, because they're sticking to the kitchen roll. You see it there? It's sticking through the kitchen roll. I don't know if that's something we can fix. It smells lovely. So give it a good iron. So probably is a case of you should really use something thicker like this if you have thicker leaves. Oh, where's the leaf that was here? It's not on here, it must have been folded. But that looks to me to be pretty flat. Look at that, guys. Isn't that awesome? It's flat, but because it's so flexible, you can tell it's not properly dry. Give it another blast. It might be a case of having to do this quite a few times with maybe a thinner towel than this. You know what I mean? So that looks pretty good. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm wearing gloves, because I always get stung with nettles. It's still a little bit damp, but it is much better than it was. This is what it looked like before. You see the difference? Now let's try something else here. I'll pat them dry first, and then we'll go back to the kitchen roll. See if it's something to do with the moisture. Maybe that's why it's sticking. Te moisture. You know, maybe try 2 bits actually. Maybe that's a good idea. Alright, let's see. Give it a light rub, like so. By the way, guys, as far as I know, right, the leaves I know for sure that are not safe are avocado leaves, because it contains a substance called persin, which is toxic to animals. And strangely enough, it's toxic to most animals, but it's not toxic to us, which is really weird. It, as far as I know as well, it damages the liver of animals, and as little as 25 grams is enough to kill a goat, for example. So please don't use avocado leaves. You've been warned. Well, that is a little bit bare. So it is. I think you have to experiment a little bit with the thickness of the cloths, etc., that you use when you're doing this. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of dry, but it's really flimsy. Can you make that out? Shall we try and give this to the shrimp, see if they will eat it? It's fresh, but it's been steamed and iron flat. Okay, so we're going to put this in the tank, and it'll be one memento for you guys, and you'll see the results, okay?
I wanna get to your clothes, gotta get it right now. I wanna push all the limits with you right now. So watch your feelings, the city's screaming, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in the world, gotta get it right now. People talk and tell what you wanna hear now, but they all disappear, they will let you down. So we better stick together, let's come whatever, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in the world, gotta get it right now. We only need the two of us together. I need only you in this crazy world, 'cause we got love, love. I need only you here with me. You wanna get close to me, why don't you do it right now? You know we met for a reason, but you're trying to deny that we should be together. It's heavy weather, we're heading for tonight. You better take what you can, 'cause the time is right now. We only need the two of us.
how did that go? This is the red berry leaf on this side. There's the nettle. Nettle is always a favourite, and this is something that you could use probably daily in your tanks if you wanted to. The shrimp rip this apart. The shrimp rip this to parts. This I would consider fodder food, and a fodder food I mean by the same as a caterpillar leaf. You see this, the difference? Also an amaranth leaf. I put an amaranth leaf in here just to show you the difference as well. They're not all over this either, but it's something they will graze on and eventually. Let me show you something as well before I go. We're working on my ironing technique over here. And what makes the difference, guys, is the thickness of the cloth that you use. I used kitchen roll before, and I got away with kitchen roll in some of these leaves here. But cloth is much better for thicker things. Okay, these are the leaves. Let's see if I can get this on. This one's a bit stuck. And this is bone dry. See it? So this is how they must do it for things like caterpillar leaves. I don't have caterpillar leaves, but I thought I did. This is how they must do it. This is bone dry, and that is good enough for me to preserve for next year. Same with this one. If I can get it up without breaking it, because once they go kind of dry, they do want to break a little bit. See, there's a little bit of moisture there. And this one as well. So doing it this way works. If you want to preserve some leaves, go outside, have some fun, collect your leaves, come inside, do the ironing. Don't let the wife see you using her best cloths for this, because it does stain the cloth a little bit. And there you go. There's how you iron and preserve dry leaves for use in the winter time, because you will need them. Okay, it's all fun in the summer when you have lots of things to do. When the winter comes, you're like, oh, I wish I collected them. Well, now's the time. It'll take you like a couple of hours. Do this. You'll have a ton of food. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed today's show and you learned something. I'll catch you all in the next one. Give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed today's program as well. And I'll see you later. Happy shrimp game, guys.